All right, welcome into the McManus Webcast here at SuckItUpUSA.com. It is Wednesday, November the 28th, and I'm live at the Loft in Jacksonville Beach. You can see the studio behind us. We're out in the lounge area. I'm here with my good friend and former linebacker mate, Lonnie Marts, 11-year NFL veteran, and also owner of Godspeed Elite Sports Performance. We'll talk about all that. L-Train, good to have you back, man. How you doing?
Good to be in.
Say hi to the TV world. How you doing, TV world? Absolutely. Well, a lot going on in college ball, which is exciting. A lot going on in the National Football League. Let's start with the Jags, since we both played for the team and we're here locally. You see a difference with Chad Henne. You see a difference with everybody, though. And here's my question to you, Lon. How important is it to have a QB that plays tough, and what it'll do for the rest of the team?
I can't say enough about the ability for Chad Henne to stand in the pocket and deliver the ball. Yeah. And he's throwing balls exactly where they need to be. And just this one person has transformed this team. Yeah. And now I see a competition starting between the running backs. Now, Plumlee, I believe, is out right now.
He is out, unfortunately.
There may be another guy step up. Montel may jump in there. Yeah. But that competition caused the running game to come out. Yeah. But the passing game opened it up because Chad Henne would stay in there and throw the ball exactly where it's supposed to be. So what I have to ask myself is Gabbert the guy? Yeah. Is he there yet? He can't be there yet because Chad Henne came in. Right. He threw that ball. The receivers didn't have a problem catching the ball. Right. The running backs didn't have a problem running. And everybody on offense seemed like they pulled a little bit harder, did a little bit more.
It's a little cliche-ish, but the quarterback's supposed to make everybody better. I mean, right? I mean, don't all the good quarterbacks do that for teams? The good teams have good quarterbacks that make the receivers better, make the running game better, make the linemen even a little bit better.
Well, here I thought we needed others to help our quarterback step up and then be the guy. But as you can see, it's not the way it works. It worked better when Chad Henne stepped in, did what he was supposed to do. He brought everybody else up.
You know, look, I've said this since day one. Blaine has the physical tools. What he doesn't have that Chad Henne has, he's not willing to hang in there to the last second to put that ball where it needs to be, to give that wide receiver the best chance to make a play and to make that person, that receptor, make a play and be that much better. He's willing to hang in there regardless if pressure is all around him.
Do you think this is something that he needed to see from maybe Garrard early on, maybe a little bit longer before they threw him in there? Because I think he's going to be a lot better. And he has to be staying on the sideline saying, my goodness. I mean, it's just a second here, a second there. That's allowing the ball to be put where it needs to be and us to move the ball down.
I think you either have it or you don't. now here's an example.
That's true.
David Carr. Okay. Now, granted, he got whacked a lot, but guess what? Stafford got whacked a lot. Yeah. Look at the difference there. Now, maybe he didn't get hit, 60 sacks a year for 4 years like David Carr did, but he got whacked a lot. But Stafford, Eli used to get smashed way back in the day. Yeah. Some guys, I think, have that ability to hang in there, and some guys don't. And you know what? We always say it's a game of inches. It's a game of seconds, because 1 second longer, you let that receiver break open, you put that ball where it needs to be, and you take the shot. Yeah, you're leaving yourself vulnerable, but you're hanging in there. And I tell you, I'm going to answer my own question. I'll kill for a tough quarterback as a defensive player. I'll go out there, and not that I need that extra motivation, but when I know that my QB is that kind of player, makes me want to go out there and play even tougher.
And that's what I saw on the whole team. The whole team. Defense, everybody. It almost seemed like, look, guys, we know we can move the ball downfield. Right. And we also know that we can hold this team. And before long, we'll get some turnovers. Mm-hmm. Maybe have a possession that they do not convert. Yep. And now we're in the driver's seat. And that's what I think happened during the game.
Yeah. I tell you what, you mentioned Parmalee. I'm glad. I like him.
He
hits the hole hard.
He was running the football.
Is, yeah.
And I had not seen anybody run the football with that kind of spacing besides MJD. And since MJD is out, that might be a nice, I mean, if you would have been back in, staying there, and the guy who, you got that competition, Jennings, Plumlee.
Jennings hesitates. He hesitates. That's his big problem. He hesitates too many times.
But I think the emotion
Yeah, lit a fire.
Lit a fire. And that bench does some. That bench does a lot.
Right under that ass, man. It'll set the whole thing on fire.
He started to run a little bit harder, but he still hesitates, and I'm afraid that without Parmalee in there to show you the difference, he may go right back to what he's been doing.
Yeah.
But we need MJD back, and
yeah, maybe
you'll have that same competition coming.
I just like the direction. It's too bad it's taken this long. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, I tell you one thing for Jaguar fans, the emergence of Cecil Shorts, Justin Blackmon, because of Chad Henne, they're excited about this team. Even though they're 2-9, there's some excitement in this city. Finally, first time all year in 2012.
Well, I heard Bill Cowher say that things can change really quick, and I believe it will be, or it will change because these receivers are catching the ball now.
Right.
And Blackmon is finally starting to say, you know what, I think I got a guy who can get that ball to me, and I'm getting open. Right. I'm on the route, but just every now and then you get open and the quarterback's gone, you're not going to keep running open on those routes. Right. But Cecil Shorts, I said it early on, make him the guy.
Yeah.
Make him the go-to guy, and everybody else will build up around him.
He's got that deep speed.
He got the deep speed. He can catch the ball. He is always on.
You know what he needs? He needs Godspeed Elite Sports Performance in the offseason. He needs to put on a little bit of muscle, a little bit of size, keep that speed, but he is definitely someone to be excited about.
Hey, you know what? Any one of them that come over there, we'll get them better.
I know that. Well, it's nice to see, and hey, for Blaine Gabbert, you heal up, and who knows? Maybe it clicks one day. I don't know, but I tell you what, Chad Henne's my guy now. Throughout the remainder of the year, let's see how it plays out, and I'll make it an open competition in the offseason with Blaine knowing that, Chad does have the upper hand because anybody can see a difference in this team offensively and defensively since Chad Henne has taken over.
Chad Henne has taken over. It is phenomenal what he's done in 2 short weeks because they were very strong against the Texans. They were very strong, and I'm thinking, hey, this guy showed that I can do this.
Right.
And so this week he pulled off a win.
Defensively, definitely better, especially last week, 2 weeks ago against Houston. It's amazing. Now, you and I both played inside backer. You drop to your zone. Right. Tight end comes in between. Eventually, you slide towards the tight end. He kept throwing it. I think they threw it to him 17 times. Yeah. It was driving me crazy. Number 2, Mel Tucker, God love you. Bring more than 4. You and I know, because you're not getting there with 4, Lonnie. And if you don't get there with 4, they're going to find holes in the zone. They're going to find them.
Well, I think that's part of the problem right now. You said both. Linebackers are not sliding in safety when called for it, are not sliding to the receiver that's in your zone. It's just a matchup. That's what we call it, matchup zone.
Right.
So you never let a man come into your zone and just sit. You slide to him with the thought that if he's very low underneath you, there may be something behind. So I may not slide to that. I can tackle that.
Sure.
But I'm always playing deep to short, and I'm going to make sure that I slide to anyone who is close to my zone. And we know where the zones are. They're just like boxes.
Yeah.
And we know what they are. 2, if you're going to send somebody else, you're going to send 5, which they cannot block, you got to make sure that those linebackers, as well as the safety, they are sliding to people in their zone almost like man, because if they don't, you won't have a chance to get there.
Typically in zone, it's man when they come into your zone. And then if they pass through, you let them go, and then someone else comes in, you pick up that new guy. That's your new guy in your zone.
Right. And how quickly do you do that is the big deal.
Absolutely.
If you can actually slide with the guy and then change direction to go back with the next guy, because they're always running crossing routes, you're working good, because the quarterback will hesitate. If he does not hesitate, he's going to throw an interception.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he doesn't bring 5 because he's not sure if his guys are going to slide with those receivers.
That's fair. Obviously you got a guy open, you're going to give up a big play. You know what I've noticed in linebacker play this year especially, and it's not just here, it's throughout the league, the play action reads have been terrible. Now, I don't know if they're teaching them, saying, hey, don't worry so much about that. We want you attacking downhill on the run, but Man, even the best ones do it. It seems they see that run fake, they jump up, and next thing you know, they're 2-3 steps behind their target. That key seems to be.
Well, I'll tell you what happens now. Since you have so much of the spread offense going on, the spread offense is really designed to look like, let's say, what we would call a draw. They're going to kick back and widen out. So you don't know if it's a pass or if it's a run.
Right.
But the running back is coming downhill after the quarterback stretches to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
So the quarterback is going to stretch to get the ball to the running back, and it looks like a pass. You kind of play passive. I'm gonna drive back a little bit. I'm gonna check and see, and you're in no man's land basically.
Yeah.
And so when the running back comes through, you're like fighting off blocks and getting to a guy late. So it's really hard to tell what's going on. What I don't understand is whether they're telling people to watch the linemen or they're telling them to watch or read the backs. It's
I don't know. Still at the end of the day, you gotta read run pass. I mean, and you better be studying enough and watching their tendencies and knowing. Now, if it's that stretch play, what does it look like when when they hand it off or when they they play action fake it? Yeah. Maybe there's a difference, but I'm seeing it right. Isolation fake. And boom, tight end is wide open. All I know is this: Steve Zabel would be pitching us out. I mean, if we were biting on it seems to be,
he'd be upset.
Maybe it's a different time. Who's impressed you the most, hon? Who do you like in the National Football League? It
is hard to say.
It's getting exciting.
It is.
It's getting real exciting.
I like 49ers. I like the 49ers.
Tough D. Gosh,
tough D, man.
That was Smith. Now that's a
even
pick.
Justin.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin's been doing this for a while, and Bowman and Willis.
Yeah.
Golly, and
even
the safeties and the corners.
Yeah.
They don't take it easy on you. They come up and they lay wood.
Physical.
I'm like, So I like San Francisco. I watched them play the Saints. I thought the Saints were. In the game, but not really in the game. They look like they came to play, but for the 49ers to put it on the way they did, I like the 49ers. It's kind of up and down with Green Bay and the Giants. Mm-hmm. I like both of those teams, but the Giants seem to play well at times, and then sometimes they don't.
No, right.
So I don't know. And it seems like maybe injuries are catching up with the Packers, so I don't know how strong they're going to be.
I think with the G-men, too, they always have their little dip, and then they come on strong. I think they're through the dip.
Yeah.
They came out of that was after the bye week, so they had that time, and that always gives you a little bit of a benefit. But at the same time, they put it together last week. They looked very good. They got after Aaron Rodgers all game long, and I think that was a big difference. I think Washington's fun to watch. That RG3, man, I didn't think he was going to hold up physically because he's smaller, but man, he is a dynamic playmaker. I watched him last Sunday, man. He's got an arm. He'll stand in there. He'll whip it around. He'll run around. I like him. I tell you what, I don't think between Luck and him, you can go wrong with either pick.
No, I don't think so. I believe I like those offensive minds at Washington and with Colin Kaepernick.
San
Francisco. Yeah. Man, when they said they were running offensive schemes and from formations that literally you don't see in college, I was like, wow, how do they get enough time to run that?
If you're Jim Harbaugh, what do you do at QB? That's been a hot topic all week. Are you sticking with Kaepernick or do you give it back? So am I.
I'm sticking with Kaepernick just because I like how much we can do with the offense. I mean, it was crazy. You're looking at pistols wide, pistol slot. You don't have pistol in the NFL. And then I saw one play they ran an option.
Right.
When you run an option with a guy, he has to know what he's doing. Tim Tebow's the only one that we think about, but here's a big kid can run an option.
He runs, by the way, 4.4.
I'm keeping him.
I think it's very similar to here in Jacksonville what Kaepernick has injected into that team.
Yeah.
Now, the defense has always played hard, fast, and tough, and very physical, but that offense is jumping off the screen now. They're not just, well, what's going to happen? Are we going to have a big day here? No, now they're all jumping. Frank Gore's jumping off the screen. Vernon Davis, Kaepernick, obviously all the weapons that they have. So I play him, and I just tell you, Alex, hey man, this is like life. I mean, I'm sorry, but you know what? This kid gives us a little something that we think we've been missing. You're still very valuable. Be ready. Anything can happen. I need you to be there, but we're going to go with the kid.
I heard what Vernon said, and it sounds good. Yeah. I'm behind my guy, my teammate. But at the same time, they were looking for someone else. You know, when Peyton was available.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
You got a guy who's very dynamic, and like I said, RG3. Yeah. I think he brings the same thing to the Washington Redskins offense.
Agreed. And he's fun.
Here's another thing: they have a receiver that I know was probably a 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round pick that we saw the other day. That ran by everyone. Yeah. I want to know why we don't have anybody. Where's our guy like that? Because they're out there, and obviously Washington found that guy, and RG3 stepped back, threw the ball, and this guy ran and got it.
Yeah, he's a tough guy too. He took some shots in that game, and he comes back. I tell you, it resonates, no question about it. You know, when I look throughout the league as we speak, 11, 12 games played, with 4 to 5 to go, depending on the team. One team that I'm not sold on comes from the AFC. Now, they have a great record. I know they got great talent, but there's something about them that I'm just not sitting there going, yeah, they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams
Texans?
in the entire league. No, Baltimore.
You know what?
There's something about them. I just don't. I don't know what it is, but I just don't see them as like, you know what? They're the earlier in the year. I thought maybe they'd be the team to beat in the AFC. I don't feel that way about them right now.
I almost feel the same. I was about to say that was one of my teams that I'm looking at. I'm keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
I almost feel the same with them in Pittsburgh. It's going to be one team that's going to get them and is going to knock them out of there because they're just not at that level, whether it's health wise or you know, are they clicking, or they're starting to come around, do they understand it's that time of the year to start showing your strength?
Right.
I don't know, but you know, from the way they played the last game. Yeah, you know, you got to give it to Ray Rice. He came out, he put it on the shoulders, and that was a big play. That was a big play, and incredible. I think he can do it all the time, and he may be showing that his strength. Maybe it's his time to put it on his back. Yeah, help the offense out and get everything clicking back to where it needs to be. So it may be. So I can understand what you're saying by that, but I'm looking at him. I'm keeping an eye on him.
Finding a way to win on the road is a nice trait to have as a team in November and early December.
You have to have it.
You got to have it, no doubt about that. Denver on a 6-game win streak. New England on a 5-game win streak. Who's more impressive in your book?
I'm not real big on New England's defense.
Yeah, they struggle.
Yeah, they struggle, and I don't know what's going on with his youth or what, or a new coordinator. I don't know what it is, but I know they lack defensively what let's say Denver has. Yeah. Denver has a great deal of playmakers. Right. They have Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. The problem I have with Peyton Manning is I don't know if, as the competition goes up, a couple more shots, or as we've seen with Cutler, Alex Smith, get a good shot on him. You know, that offense is going down real quick. And we can see that he's the guy that makes that offense better. So I don't know. Right now, it's good. It's good that they're going and they got a win streak, but it's still resting on that one guy. Yeah. And so I don't know.
Who's the best team in the league, in Lonnie Marts' opinion?
Oh, San Francisco 49ers by far. I mean, they're just...
You're not sold on Houston. You mentioned Houston.
I like Houston. I like Houston, but Houston shows me that, look, I will find a way to win. Yeah. I'm not always going to play the best game. Right. You know, we're not going to have great numbers, but I will find a way to win. If it comes down to the end, I will pull it out. Yep. If you're putting that team against 49ers or maybe New Orleans, you know, the Giants, they're not going to let you stay in the game that long. They're going to hammer you and put it out. Right. So they still have to show me that they're a veteran team that knows how, and they got great players. Right. They just, you know, I don't know if they're going to hold it together when you get into the postseason or late in the year where we're fighting for it. Right. I think teams that are used to it will slap them around a little bit.
Notice we didn't even mention the Falcons, who are 10-1. Hey. I mean, there's and you know what, they were the vets were like, man, nobody talks about us. It kind of feels that way. They're very explosive offensively. I just don't know about the defense, if I'm totally so. Maybe that's it, but they are 10-1.
But they are close to the Texans, and that's why they had that kind of game with the Texans.
Yeah, true.
But I think they are similar, and so you don't really know. It's still holding back.
Right.
You know, I would think either one of those teams are better than the Ravens right now. But, you know, honestly, got to prove it late in the season. I think the Ravens have been there enough to say, look, you know, guys, it's our time. We got to play this thing the right way, and we're playing for a postseason right now. Texans, Falcons, may not be just there.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I tell you what, this I say to Ed Reed. Keep hitting him in the head. Just knock the shit out of him.
That was terrible, wasn't it?
I mean,
I'm like, man,
what do they want you to do? Let him go? Like, just like, oh, I'm going to hit him in the head. I better, you know, they're not. This is the problem I have with the league. They're not factoring in that these two guys are coming at each other. One guy's not even looking. The other guy is. But once this guy looks, his initial reaction is what? To duck.
Yes.
That's all of our reaction. Anyone throws a punch at you, you're going to duck, you're going to flinch or something. Now speed it up, you know, 1,000 degrees, you know, higher as far as the speed of it. They duck. You come in with a shoulder, you hit him in the head. What do you want to do? Let him go?
There has to be some measure of incidental helmet contact.
Yeah,
because it's incidental.
I agree.
And honestly,
totally,
he came at him and he laid a good shot on him.
It was a great hit.
Yes, you're right. The guy ducked, but. Hey, you duck into the lick.
Damn right.
I'm not going to change what I'm doing to make you, you know, I'm going to grab you?
Yeah.
Are you kidding
me? They need 2 meathead linebackers to run this league is what they need, Lonnie. That's what they need.
They'd probably throw us out. Oh, that's good.
They would. Yeah, exactly. You're out of here. Get out of here.
What? He can't see. I don't care about that. He's okay.
No doubt about it. Lonnie Marts here with me on McManus Webcast, owner of Godspeed Elite Sports Performance. Check them out online at GodspeedEliteSports.com. Him and James Coleman, they do a great job of getting your athlete ready for their specific sport and getting you in shape. So make sure you check them out online. And Lonnie, for people that may have been listening to you for the first time, what's the philosophy at Godspeed? What's your main culture over there, other than tough love and get your ass to work?
Well, you know what? One of the things that we always think about is there's a lot of training going on out there, but very few people train the athlete from the inside out. And so what we try to do is build a lot of character within the training environment. And so you'll hear us talking to them over and over again, not so much about what we do, but what we think they need. And so we always picture ourselves as we're going to be an asset to the coaching staffs around the city, the country, whatever. We would like to give you more depth on your team. So what we're going to do is we're going to go one-to-one with the player, with the parent, find out the goals, and make sure that we know exactly what that coach is going to ask that player to do, and make sure that he can fulfill that role.
Right.
So that's our philosophy.
Character and training.
Character and training.
Yeah.
1-on-1.
I like it. And that's for the adults out there too. You know what? The kids are they're looking for the leadership. You show them, they'll follow. There's no doubt about it. I tell you what, my kids, they see Mom and me working out all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we work out all the time, whether it's in the garage for me or at the gym for my wife or at the gym. We eat a certain way.
Right.
We still have our cookies. You kidding me? I told my wife, she's got to throw out the Halloween candy. It's killing me still. It's killing me. I'm always looking in the bag. I'm like, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? You know? And the bite size are killing me. Because, you know, after a while, they add up.
In your pocket, you know? Pull one out.
Exactly. Well, it's great to have you here on the webcast. We'll do it again. I do want to ask you this, Lonnie. I'm on this no excuses tour. Okay, I think a lot of us need to live that way. You know what? Hey, no excuses. Get it done. You be the one that do it. You look in the mirror. You suck it up. It's still the tough love, but it's a no excuses tour. I want to get from Lonnie Marts your key to happiness and success with the no excuses tour in mind.
With the no excuses tour in mind, I would say this, and it falls right in line with what I had to tell my football team. I feel sorry for anyone who quits. Simply because if you quit, what you do as a human, you make yourself vulnerable to the very same thing that so many people allow into their lives, and it's not even necessary. And if you look at it, you say to yourself, just like a computer, when am I going to go back to when things get tough?
Right.
Things get tough. If you quit, you're going to go back to quitting. And so I feel sorry for you when you quit, because what's going to happen is the only thing you're going to download in your computer is quit. Yeah. I can't quit. Right. There's no way you can quit. There should never be quit in your vocabulary. Therefore, you have to make sure that as it gets tougher, you get tougher. Yeah. And it comes through talking to yourself, and it comes through doing. Yeah. If you don't do it, or you don't, make up your mind and be confident, hey, I'm committed to what I'm doing. Yeah. When you commit to something, stay with it. Do it. And that's my deal. If you quit, all you're doing is downloading a quitter's mentality. And when it gets tough, at any point in time, you'll be surprised at how easy it is to quit. Yeah, and anybody that's looking at you and watching you, they're going to feel like that they can quit too, which quitting's not an option. And you can't get that. There's nothing to pass down. Yeah. I know when I'm thinking pass it down to my children, I'm not going to pass that down. Failure is not an option. Lonnie Marts here with us. Check him out, Godspeed Elite Sports. .com. Make sure you check out all our great sponsors right there on our sponsor page at suckitupusa.com/sponsors. They're there for you. So take advantage of them, especially during the holiday season. I want to thank all those great businesses. It's an honor to represent some of the finest companies and businesses right here on the First Coast. Thanks, Lonnie. Appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you next time right here on the Tom McManus Webcast at suckitupusa.com. Hug the ones you love. And tell me love them, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. We'll see you next time right here on the Tom McManus Webcast.